in abundance to the full till it overflows. Out of time. Number 6, multiplication. The most fulfilling life is when you take what God has given you and you multiply it. If it be a gift to teach and instruct, I'm sure you're thrilled. I'm sure you get tired just like we do. But when you lead worship, you get tired, we get tired. But there's a side of you that's thrilled about it because you're wired for this. You're gifted. When you come up here and you break that bread, when you're preparing for that message, there's excitement, there's joy. You're able to multiply what God has given you. Every one of you have gifts. You have talents. It might not be to sing or maybe to sit behind a pulpit and to instruct. Whatever it is, you can share advice with your daughter or with your son. That's a gift. You're sharing with them. You're teaching them something. Everybody has different gifts and talents. And as you take what you have and you multiply it, oh, there's fulfillment. And now you can also do that in the financial arena. Now, to have money, you got to understand the purpose. Can someone please tell me before I close in 5 minutes what the purpose of money? For those of you who are keeping track of time, it's about 4 minutes after 12. What is the purpose of money? Does anybody know? Because if we don't know the purpose, we'll probably never have any. Build the kingdom. Okay, one person said to build the kingdom. Does anybody else know? Just talk to me. What's the purpose of money? I mean, we're educated in it. We spend so many years being educated so we can have a good job, so we can have a good vocation, and so we can earn a good income, and so we can take care of our family, get married, have kids. For what? For what?
To bless others.
To bless others. Okay, so to bless others for the kingdom's sake. Anybody else?
To live in abundance.
To live in abundance. Anybody else? Talk to me, somebody. What's the purpose of money? I mean, should we have money? I mean, there's whole mindsets out there that people take oaths of poverty in the church, you know, where they, just go into monasteries and we were not to have nothing. I mean, because all matter is evil, and I can go into that where that originated in one. Not even going to go there. The enemy is so strategic. If he can get the most powerful entity that exists on the earth, the church, to proclaim that it's not God's will for you to have. Now, having has to be in its proper place. He doesn't want the things to have us. That's where it gets twisted. But when it doesn't have you, he'll give you all things to enjoy. All things pertain to life and godliness. What's the purpose of money? Number 1, every time you get paid, think about, how can I take a portion of this and invest it? You say, I thought tithing was first. What do you think tithing is? It's an investment. It's one of the greatest investments. Get this system. Oh, God. I don't have enough time. The devil's not my biggest enemy. It's that clock on the wall. Can we get a sledgehammer and remove that? Every time you get paid and you think the purpose of money is to invest. So I take 10%, I invest it into the kingdom. What happens? I take that 10%. You make $1,000. You take 100 of that and you say, I'm giving that to Living Water Christian Center. This is my tithe. But it goes beyond this. I'm giving this for the work of my Father.
That's right.
To be done on the earth. So that people come, they hear the word, they get ministered to through the worship, they get ministered to by someone praying with them in the altar, they get ministered to by, they watch the lives of their brothers and sisters around them as they break through from one degree of glory to the next and give testimony. I love my brother's testimony about tithing. They get in an environment where God's moving. You actually get into a system where you see that people can have good marriages. This couple has a good marriage. I'm sure they've had times where they, scream at one another like my wife and I. She ticks me off at times. Sometimes I'm a big bear. She's like, oh, you're just irritating me. Can you go someplace? But we learn to talk it out. You communicate. You communicate. You work things out. You agree, don't you? That you don't. Do you agree that you disagree sometimes? You say, I still love you. We're going to work it out. So number 1, you're investing in the kingdom. Number 2, you with me so far? What's the purpose of money? Invest it. Have fun with it.
Sure. Amen.
Oh, he said, I've come that you may have and enjoy life in abundance to the full till it overflows. He wants you to enjoy it. Spend all these years, all this time working and saving and sacrificing to never enjoy it? Come on.
That's good.
So every time you get paid, think about, okay, I'm investing in the kingdom. And also invest, find somebody to help you. Use the systems that are out there. One of the best things you can do is invest in long-term mutual funds, a good stock growth mutual fund. Now some people will get involved in stocks and bonds, but you want good increase over a long period of time. And then also those of you that have businesses, all the businesses that I run, I invest in them. And when I put that in, it comes back. Sometimes I have seen it come back 100 times what I put in. I've invested $1,000. I've seen 100 grand come in from a $1,000 investment in the school, the music school. So this stuff does work. And number 3. So what's the purpose of money? Someone talk to me. Investing, have fun with. And number 3, give it away. Those that are wealthy, sometimes they don't discover this till later in life, but in reading these books and listening to these broadcasts and getting on the inside of how millionaires think by listening, I've literally listened to hundreds of them over and over again. They all say the same thing. Live 10 to 20% below your means. Invest in mutual funds. Get out of debt, because your monthly wealth, being out of debt, taking that, being able to put that in, that's your key to building real wealth. And then giving it away. They're big givers. They give to family, they give to their churches, they give to events when there's humanitarian events, when there's floods, when there's hurricanes. They're there, they're on the spot. They're crying with the people. They're saying, you know what, your house has been destroyed, maybe you lost a loved one, but here's $10,000. We'll help you get on your feet. It's to give, it's to give away. And when you do those 3, you're fulfilled. But if you just stockpile as much as I can, Jesus gave an example about that. The rich man, he was stockpiling. He had the wrong mindset. And that's where the body of Christ takes that and they say, nah, God doesn't want you to have money. You can't do anything for anybody if you don't have money. It's not a big secret. Hello? Hello? Anybody home? The enemy wants to get us stupefied, if that's a word. I'm going to create a word. Stupefied.
There's a word.
But we're not thinking, we're not taking the time to think, to say, no money, no help. Can't help anybody, can't do nothing, all stressed out. Now my health is going down because of the stress of not having enough. Wife's mad, kids are mad, everybody's mad. Even the dog bites me when I come in because he has no food. I've been some places, Pastor Steve, where they had a poverty mindset. These are believers.
Right.
These are people that love the Lord. They love talking about the things of God. They've been touched by the Father, but have an absolute poverty mindset. The place stinks. It smells. Even the dogs and the cats look sad. I'm telling you the God's honest truth. I look at the cat and he's like, the dog's like, they're looking at me and they're sad. Everybody's sad because nobody has enough.
Amen.
But they love the Lord. So number 6 is multiplying what you have, your gifts, your talents. And number 7 is rest. We are a restless society. And CEOs brag, I only need 2-3 hours of sleep. One of the CEOs of Google, she bragged, I can go on 4 hours of sleep, and that's why she was 2 hours late for a very important meeting. She fell asleep for those 2 hours because your body's not designed to run on 2 hours of sleep.
Right.
Hello, even God rested. He put that right in the beginning of Genesis. He said, look, I've called you to multiply, I've called you to have dominion. He said all these things, you're blessed. And then he said, I rested. So you need a break. Now resting is just not inactivity. You can rest when I'm playing the guitar or when I'm playing my sax. That's a form of rest to me. But I do at the same time. Aim to be in bed by between 9 and 10 o'clock at night. The things I eat, I stop drinking a few hours before bed. And I ingest, if I need to ingest food, I try to ingest complex carbohydrates that make you tired. Like your brown rice, warm milk, mint tea, sleepy time tea. There's things you can do. You get it's like everything else. You get yourself on a system of abundant life, which the rest is a big part of that, where you start to unwind at night. A couple hours before bed, you stop eating, you stop drinking. You let your system, the digestive system, not working. If not, you have a hard time sleeping. How many ever go to bed, your mind's racing?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's because of what you ate. Sometimes it's what you're thinking. Sometimes it's a mixture of things. We need a good amount of time. Now, I need 7-8 hours of rest. When I get 7-8 hours of rest, man, I'm alive during the day. I'm not yawning and like half in and half out of it. I'm focused. I'm strategic. I have dreams, visions that I'm pursuing, and I'm not going to take them to the grave, but I'm going to do little things every day. I'm going to have a plan. Every day I'm going to write down my plan, write the vision, make it plain, so he that reads it, run with it. And I'm going to pursue that a little bit at a time, every day. What little things do you need to do on Monday that'll take you one step closer to pursuing your dreams? That's all I got today. I can't go anymore. When the book's out, read it for yourself. Pass it on to family members. This you will leave an inheritance to your children's children. This message is so relevant. God spoke to me. He said, this book. He said, I will make sure that publishers take notice of this, and it will get out. And he said, the Spirit of God spoke prophetically to me. He said, these 7 keys to live an abundant life. This will earmark you. This will earmark you, because you'll go all over the nations, you'll go over the world proclaiming this. And this will revolutionize, this will change lives, this will affect generations. And the Lord showed me in a vision that someone that was sitting in a meeting heard this, they applied it, and their daughter was like 30-some years old, and then she had kids. And it went right on through to the generations. They developed a lifestyle, putting Jesus first, meditating the Word. They developed a lifestyle of exercise. They put family first. They stayed on the same page with their spouse. They found their God-given purpose, and they fulfilled it. They weren't just one that said, I'm never going to live my dreams. They fulfilled their dreams. They were like Paul. They said, I finished my race. I ran the race, finished my course. Number 5, they multiplied their money. They were wealthy. They were powerful individuals. They gave big. They lived big. They were powerful kings and queens of the Most High God. Number 6, they multiplied everything they had. And number 7, they were balanced. They rested. You can't enjoy it unless you rest. Pastor Steve, I want to have you come. You can just do whatever God puts in your heart, brother. Okay. But I thank you for your patience. And I speak blessing over this ministry and over this church. And I'm just thankful for your lives. In Jesus' name. Thank you so much.
I got one here. I get a three-letter word, wow. He really can teach such incredible truths. And sometimes we come to a church and we want